Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Denali and I'm a full-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark. My store and closet name is DUCHO, E-L-D-U-C-H-O, and you can find me on Instagram as DUCHO Thrift. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you'd like to be, hit the button down below, and if you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up on your way out. Alright, so today I'm here with a video talking about 5 reasons why your crap isn't selling. And by crap, I mean that in the kindest possible way. Why your stuff isn't selling online. I think we're all guilty of a lot of the different reasons that I'm going to outline today, myself included. So if you feel personally attacked by this video, trust me, this is just as much of a reminder from me as it is for you. I am guilty of these things from time to time. So yeah, so take them in and think about, what I say. It might not apply to your business and it might apply to your business, but take in what I say and think about how maybe you could do something differently. So here we go. The first one is your photos suck. I know that sounds harsh, but let's be honest. We've all looked through listings where people's photos aren't so great. A lot of times what it comes down to is poor lighting. Natural lighting is your best friend. If you can capture natural lighting in your house or outside somewhere to photograph your item, that's ideal. If you don't have that, a lot of us then go to some form of a lighting kit or solution. However, that doesn't always make sense for everybody. It is a financial, burden you're going to have to take on paying for that. So again, natural light is your best friend. Now, a lot of people don't realize that they should be taking in natural light, and so what they end up doing is turning on their bedroom light in their room, which gives off an orangey glow, and maybe throwing the item on their bedspread or hanging it on the back of a door, and it doesn't capture the color of the garment properly. What might be a white item comes out looking yellow, and a blue item might kind of look green. So that's probably why your item isn't selling, because the buyer doesn't really know what they're looking at. You're listing this as a white dress and this looks yellow. Another reason is that maybe you don't have enough photos. If you're only taking one photo of the item that you're selling, you're not telling enough of a story to the buyer. Since they don't get to try this item on, touch it, feel it, all that sort of stuff, you really want to max out as many photos as you can give them that is going to put all their fears aside that they are buying the right item for them. Another thing could be that the photo is blurry. Maybe you're moving your hand. If you're maybe using your camera phone, I take everything on my phone. So if you're using your smartphone and you're moving around, or possibly the lens is dirty, little things like that are really going to help you take really great photos and be able to tell a story properly. And again, just capturing the garment completely, so that if you're showing a dress, right, that you are showing from the shoulders to the hem at the bottom, and that you're not cutting it off in some way, because the buyer is going to want to know, how much of a mini is this, what does it look like in full screen? So really answering all the questions in just a photo, and then also in a description. So again, photos are important. Natural light is your best friend if you don't want to take on a lighting kit solution. Wiping off the lens on your phone, those are going to be things that are helpful. And then also, don't use filters that you would use like for Instagram or stuff like that. I know Poshmark has filters. Don't use those. In my opinion, it doesn't do your photos any favors. So that's just my 2 cents. The next thing is your inventory is undesirable. And that's, again, the nicest way I could say is not great. So a lot of times what the problem is that the brands that you're picking up are just too saturated. And there's a lot of people that resell, I'm talking about clothing specifically. There's a lot of people that sell clothing, and although we grow up thinking that mall brands are nice and desirable brands, they are expensive at the mall. The truth is, everyone now has those brands, so they're just not as special. And so you have to know that if you're going to pick up brands like, for instance, Gap, Banana Republic, H&M, fast fashion at that, you're just not going to get a good return on investment. Likely you're going to only be able to ask possibly $10 to $15 on those sort of items, unless it is a more special or unique or rare item, because right, there is always circumstances to every situation. It might also be that they're not current styles. You know, maybe you're cleaning out your closet, you're new to reselling, and you're like, why is my stuff not selling? Well, is the stuff from like 5 or 10 years ago? If that's the case, it just might not be desirable anymore. You know, for instance, my dad gave me some blazers of his, and he had told me that, I can't remember if it was like 2 or 3 button blazers. At one point, like 3 button blazers was kind of a thing, but then it's not a thing anymore. I can't remember if I'm mixing it up, like if it was 2 and 3, but regardless, styles come and go. And so if a 3 button blazer was cool for a minute, it wasn't anymore. Lastly, possibly the condition of the garment is poor. You know, maybe there's a lot of pilling on it, there's holes, there's stains. Those are going to be things that, especially if you're asking a lot for the item, buyers are not going to respond well to. Generally, items that are more flawed, if I list a flawed item, I am going to take a price cut on that. And then if you already are selling a saturated brand, you're really going to have to take a deep cut on that. So make sure that when you're outsourcing for inventory, if you're already at a point with reselling where you're going out to source, that you are checking completed sold listings of the similar item, not just completed listings. Sold listings are really important, and there you do have tools to check this stuff. So there's an app called Completely. It is only available for iPhones, and it is for checking comps on eBay. Find that in the App Store. There's a website called checkaflip.com. I'm going to put all this in the description down below, don't worry. And there's also an app called Hound. I don't use this, but I know other people do, and I guess they give you comps for multiple different selling platforms. So check all of those out. And TeraPeak, if you use eBay, TeraPeak is another great resource. I'm not sure how great that is for kind of if you're in the thrift store, but throwing that out as a suggestion. And then, of course, source in-demand items at low prices. That should just be a life motto there if you're a reseller. Okay, so the third would be that your shipping costs are too darn high. So that's, you know, buyers are really sensitive to shipping costs. They're already paying up for your item, and now they're like, I have to pay to have this item shipped to me. So don't be overcharging on your shipping for eBay sellers, not Poshmark sellers. Don't be overcharging on your item, especially if you could be giving a better price to the buyer. So for instance, if you are new to selling on eBay, it's really important that you play around with calculated shipping so that you understand what prices are. You know, X amount of ounces is going to cost X amount of dollars if I ship it first class, priority, all the different options. Once you become more confident, maybe switch over, if it works for you, to just a flat rate of shipping. That's what I do. I'm comfortable with that after shipping for many years now. However, I really recommend that people start with calculated shipping, getting a scale. I have one right there. But you can use a kitchen scale as long as it has ounces on there. That's really all that you need. So that you're not shipping a t-shirt that's 4 ounces in a padded flat rate envelope for $8. If I was the buyer, I would not be happy about overpaying that much. Yeah. The fourth thing would be your title doesn't give enough information. And arguably I could add in description here, but I really think title is important. You know, between your photos and your title, that's really what you have to capture the buyer to click into your item. So on eBay, you have 80 characters to create a title, and on Poshmark, it's 50, so a little bit less. So on both of those platforms, in my opinion, you should be maxing out those 80 or 50 characters and putting all the descriptive terms and words that you can in there. So for instance, a bad title, in my opinion, would be Old Navy red dress. That does not give enough information. If a buyer is searching for an item, that is, you know, you are going to fall into a sea of many Old Navy red dresses, and there's quite a few, I imagine. So things that are going to help you are putting in descriptive words. I think if you can find the style name of the garment, the original style name, that can be helpful. Like for instance, if it was the Rebecca dress, you know, Old Navy Rebecca dress, that's going to be helpful. Other than that, adding in descriptive terms. Is it a mini, a midi, a maxi? Is it 3/4 sleeve? Is it a V-neck? Is it a crew neck? Is the material ribbed? Is it cashmere? Whatever the case might be. So I like to use, when I'm creating listings, there's a website called Title Builder. It's title-builder. And again, this will be in the description down below. But to help me find descriptive keywords. So you can go in and type in on Title Builder Old Navy red sweater, and then it's actually going to suggest other popular search terms to you. And of course, you only want to put in the ones that are going to be applicable to your listing. However, it can be helpful. And then the more you give Title Builder, the better title or better descriptive terms it's going to spit back out to you. So if you were to add in the Rebecca dress, right? That's our fake one. It might already know that based on the Rebecca dress, it knows that it's cashmere, and so it's going to tell you to suggest cashmere or whatever terms that might be helpful for you. So really maxing out your title is going to be how buyers are going to find you, whether it's through, you know, the actual platform that you're selling on, or even just for Google for search engine optimization. Okay, lastly, my fifth item is that your price is too high. And I'm guilty of this also, especially when I first started. I wanted what I wanted, and I was stubborn, and I didn't want to change or take lower offers or price it lower. It was like I looked at comps, and I saw the low end, and I saw the high end, and then there's the mid-range, and I was the high end. I wanted to, you know, if the high was $60, that's where I wanted to be. And I was stubborn, and I maybe didn't want to take offers. Well, the market is the market is the market. So you need to be prepared to accept a more mid-range offer of what somebody is going to throw your way. Because otherwise, your item is just going to sit there for a long time, and you might be waiting on the right buyer for forever. You know, sometimes when I go in and I search comps on items, you know, I'll see, oh, okay, this item sold, but then I'll click in and see how long did it take this person to sell it. And sometimes I've seen, like, it'll say 472 days. No way. On possibly an item that was like $35. There's no way I want to wait 472 days for $35. I would rather take $26 30 days in. So I'm not saying that person had that opportunity then, but they might have. And I know that I'm guilty of that as well. I have received offers that I should have taken, and then I have sat, and some of those items are in this room with me today. So I say this from experience. Again, using completed listings, using comps to see you know, what your item is actually worth. So again, using TeraPeak. If you have eBay, TeraPeak comes with your store subscription. Using the app completely if you have an iPhone. Sorry, not for Androids. Hound, which I think is for Androids also. It is free. That one's free to use. I think Hound's free to use. Completely costs like maybe $2 or $3 as a one-time purchase. Checkaflip.com, that one's free to use. It's just a website, and it is for looking up eBay comps. And then just remember, you know, you don't want your items to become stale, especially important on eBay. You know, I know people will say a lot of times with Poshmark, well, I just, you know, maybe they have that rare occurrence where, oh, I relisted the item, and then I finally, after X amount of days of waiting, somebody bought it full price when I just did a relist. Well, that's amazing and magical. That doesn't always happen on eBay. I can tell you that. Relisting can be, you know, part of the business, and maybe could be important for Poshmark. I'm not as confident or as sure to comment on that, but all I know is that changing my business model and taking more of the average of what the item is worth and not shooting for the moon has been better for my business. So that's it, guys. Those are my 5 reasons why your crap isn't selling. I hope it was helpful. I hope nobody got offended. Let's take in what I said and see how maybe it can apply to your business. And trust me, this comes from a place of, you know, a person who's made mistakes, all of these mistakes. So, all right, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.